Hey everyone, this is Chandler from the Look at Them Talk podcast. Um, this is obviously not a podcast. This is myself doing a video. Um, for anybody who, family-wise, that doesn't know, or if there are any random followers, I collect vinyl. I like music. I got into collecting vinyl this past year, and in the vinyl community they have a thing called a vinyl tag, which is just some questions that you answer and show vinyl that goes to that. So I'm going to do my best doing a vinyl tag, the vinyl tag 2021 edition. Some of the albums, or I guess some of the questions that are on here, I don't have albums for, so instead I'll just show an album that I like to potentially fill in for that. So we're gonna get right into it. Some of these may not make sense, but again, I'll do my best to try and explain how I see it fits towards the question. So first one is a discovery in 2020. That would be Men at Work, Business as Usual. It's not necessarily a discovery of the band, but I guess more or less of the album as a whole. Men at Work, a lot of people know them for Down Under and Who Can It Be Now. They're probably their two biggest songs, which were on this album, and it's why I bought this album specifically for those two songs that I liked. As I listened to it, I soon realized that the whole album is really good. It's damn good. Definitely worth a listen to, and I think a lot of people, especially over here in the States, maybe might not give this as much credit as really it deserves. I listened to it and I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of good songs on here, things that you just wouldn't hear on the radio. But that's that one for Discovery in 2020. I guess my whole collection can technically be a discovery in 2020, since that's when I really started collecting vinyl. So a quarantine buy, again, my whole collection can fall into that, but we're gonna go with Lamentations by American Aquarium. This album is what actually got me into it. Pushed me over into wanting to start collecting vinyl. I listened to this on YouTube Music or Spotify or one of those, and I was just blown away by the mixing and the mastering, and I said, that's it, I want that on vinyl. So I bought it, and then I went and bought a record player so I can listen to it. But yeah, Lamentations by American Aquarium. BJ Barham, the lead for this, really outspoken, especially I think on here, does a great job speaking his mind, which one of the things I really love about music, especially I want to say, I don't want to necessarily say real artists, but you know, if you look through the history, especially country music, it's a bunch of people really speaking their mind, maybe not too happy with the circumstances that they are around, or telling stories that a lot of people can relate to, and I think BJ does a really good job at that on a lot of these songs here. So next question up is LP you want to find in 2021. So obviously this is something I don't own, as I would find it this year. I have a lot of John Moreland. I'm missing 2 of his albums in my collection, and John Moreland has easily become one of my most favorite artists, especially country artists, as I have nearly all his stuff. I'm missing In the Throes and Earthbound Blues, and I think he had maybe an album out with a different band. I'm not quite sure, but before it was, just John Moreland and all that stuff. I think he had something out beforehand, but I really enjoy his stuff. I wanted to get into some more punk. I know some punk, like Idols, they kind of blew up. I shouldn't say kind of, but they blew up. A lot of people like them. I didn't end up buying their latest release. I liked it. I liked the previous release to that a little bit more, but I mean, it was still a good punk album. And ska. Not the ska punk that was big here in the US in the 90s, but the original ska. Like the Scotalites, I believe that's their name, and the Toots and the Maytals, I think, is another one that are from Jamaica, which is where ska originated from, I believe, in the 60s. It's good jazz, good, not Caribbean, but reggae, jazz, a little rocky, gets you going. It's good music, and it's definitely during the summertime, great stuff to listen to, even better during the wintertime, because it just gives you those memories of the warm sun, especially here in Ohio. It can get pretty cold now. So, moving on, a box set. The only box set I own is for my favorite cartoon, Western cartoon, which is Adventure Time. Absolutely love this box set. Love the cartoon, love the music that's in it, and it's so touching. And it really kind of hits home. If you've never seen the show, if you have Hulu, it is on Hulu. I do recommend it. The show, I think, started out when I was in junior high, and it continued on through high school. I think it eventually ended sometime in my early college years, maybe when I was a sophomore or freshman in college. I think there's like 8 seasons. It's great. It's a great show. It touches on a lot of deeper things. I'm 24, so I think a lot of kids my age, maybe even a little older, know about it. If you don't, get into it. Adventure Time is hilarious. For one, the music's great as well. There's a cover of the Cheers theme song sung by the Ice King, who is that character there, who is voiced by Tom Kenny, who you might know as SpongeBob. So, there's that. If you don't like anything else, you can at least look that up on YouTube. It's a great little cover of the Cheers theme song. So the next one is a concept album. I didn't know if I owned any concept albums, so I had to Google concept albums, and one of the ones that popped up was Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Did not know that. This is, I think, originally one of my aunts, because I got this from my grandmother. It's definitely a loved copy, but I mean, it still plays well, and I'm not the biggest Beach Boys fan, but there's some classics on here. You know, I can't deny. You know, you throw these on and you're gonna sing, no matter who you are, even if you're a metalhead or a country fan. Like, wouldn't it be like? How do you not sing to "Wouldn't It Be Nice"? Like that, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Like, how does that come on and you don't just start grooving to it? I don't know. Great album though. Not the biggest Beach Boys fan, but I will say that is a great album. Next one up is an album where an artist or band changed directions. I got 2 that I think can fall into this. The first one being Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds Ghosteen. This is his latest release. If you listen to a lot of his earlier material, a lot different than this. This is a lot more synth, less rock and roll, less hard rock. Definitely a different thing. I was reading a lot of the reviews. I guess a lot of the original fans didn't like it because of that. I enjoyed it. It's a lot different from his earlier stuff, which also deserves a good listen to. But I mean, I liked it. I thought it really hit home. It's definitely a more down-tempo, sad album. I believe this came out after his son passed away, I believe. I could be wrong. But I think that's some of the grief and the strickenness that a father losing his son. You can definitely feel the emotions in that album. I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed it. Some people didn't like it. I liked it. I said I had 2 for this. And I'll explain this one why I think Outcast, Speakerboxxx, and The Love Below belongs as a band changing directions. This is really their last album together, and it kind of showed how they were splitting off in directions, as it's literally 2 albums put together, each their own little brainchild. I mean, Big Boy with the Speakerboxxx and Andre 3000 with The Love Below. 2 entirely different sounds, ideas, and it's kind of clear, but it is really good. Big Boy's The Speakerboxxx definitely fits more, I think, with like the mainstream sounds of hip-hop at that time. But then you had Big Boy over top, who's a great lyricist, and it's just smothered with a bunch of features. I think Ludacris is on there. I can't remember some of the other artists, but it's a great listen to. And then you have The Love Below, and Andre 3000 is definitely very experimental with his sounds, his ideas, and what he kind of does. But it works, and he's also an amazing lyricist and some of the best. It was just incredible to have these 2. I mean, when they were together and they were going, those first couple albums, like ATLians, wow, just wow. And I mean, this is still wow, still great work. I mean, these guys both by themselves are amazing artists. Next one up is a white label promo. For anyone new into vinyl and they're wondering, like, hey, what is a white label promo? This is a white label promo, and you typically find them as DJ copy only. I think they're typically sent to like radio stations and stuff like that. They're not meant to be sold, but they still make their ways around, especially in the vinyl community. You know, a lot of those old DJs who have these huge, massive collections eventually get rid of it and sell their stuff. And so it makes its way around. This is John Prine's self-titled debut album, John Prine, as you can see there. This is going to answer another question later on. What's an OG copy you had to get of? John Prine's John Prine. I found this on eBay. I ended up buying this for, I think, $40 some, 50 some. I mean, expensive for a vinyl, yes, but also I've seen a lot more vinyl, especially promotional copies, go for a lot more. I wanted this because I became a huge John Prine fan. And it also became like kind of like an Amy Winehouse thing, because John Prine passed away unfortunately this year, and I really got into his music after he passed away, and so I kind of had some regret that I wish I got into it beforehand. That way I could just, I don't fully experience it with him here. But he's a legend, probably the best country singer-songwriter, in my opinion, to ever throw it down. I mean, this debut album is just one song after the other that's amazing. I mean, Illegal Smile, Sam Stone, Angel from Montgomery. A lot of you might know the Bonnie Raitt version. That's originally sung by John Prine. He wrote that song, and holy cow, just an absolute amazing album. I had to have it. Ended up getting it. I'm extremely pleased with myself. It is definitely a loved copy, as you can just tell from the sleeve itself, worn and stuff like that. But it works for me there's some clicks and pops, but for the most part, it's a pretty quiet pressing, and I extremely enjoy it, and I'm extremely happy to have it in my collection. What is the next question? I got the questions up over here, that's why I keep looking. A compilation album. I have a bunch of different compilation albums, but I wanted to go with Rush Archives. I am a big Rush head. That got passed on to me by my father, who was a big Rush head. Rush Archives is a collection of their first 3 albums, I believe, entirely on vinyl. Self-titled Rush, Fly By Night, and Caress of Steel. I believe those are the 3 albums that are on here, and I believe those are their first 3. Amazing. Rush is an amazing prog rock band. I'm sure a lot of you who collect vinyl definitely know who Rush is. There's no words really needed. If you're into prog rock, if you're into a lot of storytelling, kind of listening to an album completely, having it be just one long story, Rush is the band for you, especially Caress of Steel. I think there's like a couple 10-15 minute songs on there, but it's just what they were able to do with only 3 band members. Incredible. Really symphonic sound. It just doesn't sound like it's 3 people doing it, but it is, and they were some of the best. An album with a story, or an album that tells a story. I don't have any amazing stories when it comes to vinyl. Some people got some pretty cool ones. I just got into collecting vinyl, so for this one I'm just going to show Rush Moving Pictures. This is their Moving Pictures album, my favorite classic rock album, my favorite prog rock album, because I am a huge Rush fan. I would like to have the rest of their stuff on vinyl, but it can get kind of expensive as well. This one was picked up for $1. This was my dad's. That's who I took it from, my father. And there's a $1 sticker, and I hate that the sticker's on there, but oh well. The story behind this, I guess, is, like I said, my dad was a big Rush head, so I can remember listening to this album specifically just on repeat while growing up with him. They were also the second band I ever seen live, the first one being Kiss. And let me tell you, Kiss and Rush are 2 different bands live. I mean, I saw them both, obviously, at their senior ages that they had, elder ages, late in their career, obviously. And Kiss was still doing a lot of the same stuff. I mean, flying out over top of the crowd, blowing fire, pyrotechnics. Absolutely amazing show. And then Rush, complete opposite of that. In fact, from what I remember, even though I was sitting up in the nosebleeds, looking down, I think everyone, even like down in the pit, everyone was sitting and just enjoying the music and the show entirely, which was incredible. I've been to plenty of other concerts after that, and I don't think I've ever had one where people are just sitting and just enjoying the music. So it was an amazing experience. Unfortunately, Neil Peart, the drummer for Rush, passed away this past year. Another amazing musician that we unfortunately lost. So they are no longer touring, but to those who did see them live, amazing, right? Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the show. Maybe it was different when they were younger. I saw them obviously late in their career. Their last 2 tours, I saw their, I think, Time Machine or something like that. All I remember is what looked like washing machines spinning behind them. They ended up playing the whole Moving Pictures album, so it was amazing. I saw them in Pittsburgh. Hey, just listening to some John Moreland while I'm editing the video. Not really doing too much, just making sure I didn't miss anything, and I did miss something. Question: an album that needs a vinyl pressing. I'm gonna have to go with my good friend Mr. Fiji Ouija, who makes a lot of electronic music. We actually had him as a guest on the podcast. If you want to hear that, I can link that. We'll put a thing, whatever it is, up there, and I'll put a link down in the description box. But anyways, I would like to have one of his albums. Good friend of mine. I like to. I don't know, it'd be cool to own one of his albums on vinyl. So that's that question. Enjoy the rest of the video. All right, bye. So the next question is a common and an uncommon album. My whole collection, I would say, is really just common albums. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to show for an uncommon album. I don't think I have any uncommon albums, so I just picked one that may be uncommon. It might not be. It's uncommon to me because I'm not going to see it in stores around me. But for a common album, I got Huey Lewis and the News, Sports. Amazing album. Good album. I don't really know what to say about it too much, other than I think this is the first album that took off for Huey Lewis and the News. I know they had some before this, but I think this is the one that kind of like busted through the ceiling for them. The Harder Rock and Roll, I believe Huey has gone on record saying that song was originally supposed to be about Cleveland, but he included other states, or other cities I should say, to make it more encompassing, but it was originally written for Cleveland. Go Browns. And then for uncommon, like I said, I don't know if it's uncommon, but I guess around me, I'm not going to see this too often unless I'm going through like a personal collection. CCR's Cosmos Factory, Japanese pressing with the Obi strip. I don't know if it's uncommon. I don't know if this fits or not. This is a great album. It's a Japanese pressing, which I thought was cool. It's the only one I have that is a Japanese pressing in my little collection here. I got this for like $25 at, not a yard sale, but they're down on the corner. They had like a little outdoor thing with different vendors, and one person was selling a bunch of records from their personal collection, and I found this, and $25. I was like, yeah, I'll take that. It's a great band. It's a great album. And it's a Japanese pressing. It's something different. They're supposed to sound better. I don't have an American pressing to compare it to, but it sounds good to me. Next one is an EP. I don't own any EPs. But I will show this. This is Billy Strings. This is his latest album. It's called Home. He has an EP that he never pressed on vinyl that I would like to have if he ever did press it on vinyl. Billy, if you ever see this, that EP, Billy Strings EP, go ahead and press that on vinyl for me. I would thoroughly enjoy that. I think the whole world would enjoy that. For anyone who doesn't know who Billy String is, he's a bluegrass artist, and easily by far probably one of the greatest guitarists I've ever heard. That goes up there with Jimmy Page, and I'm gonna put Alex Lifeson up there because I'm a huge Rush head, so he gets in there for me. Probably not on everyone else's list, understandable, but listen to Billy Strings. I'll put in his Grand Ole Opry performance of Dust in a Baggie, which is on that EP, and you can watch that and let me know what you think, whether or not you think he deserves to be on your list of some of the best guitarists. I think he does. And I think once you see it, if you don't know who he is, you'll put him on that list somewhere, either tied with somebody or not. A girl group. I don't own any girl groups, unfortunately, so I'm just going to show a bunch of female-led bands that I like. I got 3 of them, 4 of them maybe. I got 4. First one being Bully. They're a good punky, kind of like radio punk. By that I mean like not your underground. This is something you'd more hear on a radio. Great band, great female lead too. She's got a voice that can really belt it out. Really enjoy her sound. The rawness that is on this album as well. I think it's really, really good. Opposite of that, we have Close to You by the Carpenters. Again, female lead there. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said. I think everyone knows who the Carpenters are. If you don't know who the Carpenters are, please listen to the Carpenters. They're a brother-sister band, and boy, does she have a voice. Very beautiful too. She ended up dying due to she had an eating disorder, I believe, and kind of brought a lot of that to light, because I guess that was kind of hidden at that time. A lot of people didn't realize that, but kind of brought a lot of that to light, eating disorders and things of that nature. Unfortunately, she passed away due to complications with that, but she had an amazing voice, was an amazing singer, and I think the only reason why the Carpenters were the Carpenters. The next one up is Mita. Best Wishes. They are I believe they're out of Portland. Good rock band. I stumbled upon them on Bandcamp. I was looking for some rock, something different, something new, and I saw them there, and this is their debut album, Best Wishes, Mita. Good sound, good female lead, great voice. I love the sound. Gets you moving. A lot of good songs to sing along to as well. And then finally, Miss Margo Price. Great country singer. She's not afraid to say what she feels, what she wants. There's definitely this isn't just your standard old, country with some twang. I mean, I don't know what this would fall under. I think alt country maybe a little bit. I think she's got maybe just a little bit of blues in her as well. Who produced this? Did Sturgill Simpson produce this? I believe he did. I think he had a big old hand in producing this. Yeah, co-produced by David Ferguson, Margo Price, but produced by Sturgill Simpson, who, one of my favorite artists. I love Sturgill. Anything I think he touches can kind of turn to gold, especially him and I think David Cobb. He's worked on a lot of country albums that I really love. Margo Price. That's how rumors get started. If you haven't listened to this album, please give it a listen to. She is amazing. Great sound, great country sound, great country electric guitar sounds as well. Good feels of everything. An album cover you love. This is Cowboy Bebop. This is the original soundtrack. I think the jazz band is called the Seatbelts. I think that's their name. I could be wrong. This is a great jazz album, by the way. If you're a jazz fan, this is just a great jazz album. If you're not just a fan of the anime itself. Some people were complaining about a lot of the artwork. The artwork was done by, I think, the original person who did the artwork on the show. Some people are saying it's fan service. I didn't really get that. I didn't think it was fan service. I do like anime, and compared to a lot of the other animes that I have witnessed, this really isn't all that bad. Fan service wise, I mean, it's just her outfit that she wears during the show. So I guess the whole show is fan service then. I don't know. Good show. Great music. Great jazz music if you like jazz. Next one is an album you listen to the most. I'm going to go with a tie here. First one being John Moreland, High on Tulsa Heat. Like I said, I own all of his stuff except for a couple albums. In the Throes and I believe Eastbound Blues or something like that. He's from Oklahoma. Guy can really pull on your heartstrings. My favorite songs off of this are what are the Cleveland County Blues, Hang Me in the Tulsa County Stars, You Don't Care Enough for Me to Cry. He just, his latest release of this past year, 2020, was LP5, and I think if you just listen to a lot of his discography, you'll see how much he has grown and I think become more comfortable. And he's definitely lyricism first, but I mean the guy can pluck away at that guitar as well and really just, I'm not lying to you when he says he pulls on your heartstrings. Listen to You Don't Care Enough for Me to Cry and tell me you don't cry when you listen to that. The next song would be Jason Isbell's Southeastern. Jason Isbell, also another amazing country artist. This one was big for me. This has his song that he wrote for his wife, Cover Me Up, on it. Some people might know, I think Morgan Wallen has covered that one recently, so a lot of people might know his version of it. This is the original Cover Me Up version. And Lord, it is a great song. It is an amazing song, and Jason Isbell is an amazing artist. I have a lot of his albums as well. I'm a huge country fan if you haven't figured that out. I think that's something a little different about me from a lot of other big vinyl channels that I've watched on here. I don't hear them talk a lot about country. Definitely classic rock was your peak for vinyl collecting, but there's a lot of great country artists out there. The next question would have been what you had to get an OG copy of. That was the John Prine album that I showed that also fit for the white label promo. So moving on past that one, the last album you purchased. This album I'm about to show technically isn't the last album I purchased, but I wanted to take that album and put it in a different question, actually the question that comes after this. But I did buy this not too long before purchasing that last album, and this album is Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Essential. I'm a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. I love his blues rock. His guitar skills are out of this world. And I was just sitting there, I was like, I gotta have a Stevie Ray Vaughan album. So I was at my local record store and I going through some Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff, and I didn't know what to get, but I saw this there and I looked at the back and I was like, that's got all the songs that I want to listen to right now. I don't have to go and buy multiple albums. I can just get this one and hear all the songs that I want to hear. Pride and Joy is on here, Little Wing is on here, Life by the Drop is on here. It's just a great album, and it's Stevie Ray Vaughan. My parents saw him live, and I think they say that his solo was like one of the best guitar solos, live performances that they have ever seen their whole life. And I think they said that he made his like guitar walk across the stage. I don't know how that would happen. If anyone has any videos to that or knows how to do it, and you can, sorry, my camera cut out there. As I was saying, he made his guitar walk across the stage. So if anyone knows how that is done, if anyone has a video of someone making like their guitar like walk across, I don't know, maybe they were really drunk and missaw, but I would really have loved to have seen it. So final two questions. This one is a punk album, or the closest you think you have to a punk album. I do have a punk album. I got, at least over here, it's an American punk rock band. They were among the first wave of punk rock. They were from Cleveland, Ohio. Again, I'm filming this on the 17th of January, so any Cleveland fans should know that this is a big day for us. Anyways, the Dead Boys, Young, Loud, and Snotty. This is their debut album. From Cleveland, Ohio, first wave of American punk. They were known to be their performances to be some of the most violent and rowdiest live performances. They never got huge. American punk never got to be, especially when they were there, the UK scene was a lot bigger, and punk rock was a lot bigger over in UK than it was here over in America. And they were definitely rowdy and kind of hard to sell their sound and their shows to a lot of people, but they were definitely a very influential band, as they were among that first wave of people, and they were known to be some of the most rowdiest and craziest shows, I guess, that you can go to. From what I know, they put out 2 albums under the Dead Boys. Young, Loud, and Snotty was their debut album, and their second album, I guess, ended up splitting them up, as Sire Records, who put this one out, wanted to change their sound, and I guess that ended up splitting up the band. So unfortunately, this is an amazing album, though. Amazing sound, a good American punk band. If you haven't heard of the Dead Boys before, I recommend Sonic Reducer by them, which is the first song off of that. And then it's almost game time here, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up real quick. Favorite 2020 reissue, Jimi Hendrix Experience Smash Hits. I got this for Christmas, obviously last year, since it's now January. I got this for Christmas this past year, and this is the Walmart issue. Really great pressing, really great issue. I loved it. I am getting a phone call now. Hopefully that doesn't interrupt it, but that's my vinyl tag for it. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Comment down below if you want to see more of my collection. My other cousin, who's a co-host on the podcast, Landis, he also has some vinyl and is starting his vinyl collection. Let us know if you want to see his stuff. My other cousin, other co-host Noah, he doesn't have a vinyl collection, but he does statistics work and things of that nature. So maybe if you want to see something like that, let us know. Maybe we can make something that you would enjoy, and maybe content-wise that you'd like to see. Anyways, have a nice day. Go Browns.